Hello guys, so today we'll be looking at our weekly anticipation for this week. So as you could see last week ISM service PMI for USD came up negative, and then we'll see that GBP bank rate also came out hawkish with a hawkish cut, and then we'll see that USD unemployment claims were also negative. Now let's look at what we're anticipating for the week. And for this week, we have some important data coming out. We have the CPI on Tuesday, and advise you stay away from the market till after the CPI because this is actually the next big thing. It's actually going to determine what will happen next in the market because this would actually determine whether we're going to see another rate cut or not. Now, probably currently now we are seeing we saw that Trump had appointed Steven Miran to replace Adriana Kugler. I don't know if I got the pronunciation. Yeah, Adriana Kugler. So we see that Trump has appointed Steven Miran to actually replace her, and then that means we're having another dove added to the already existing two doves. Now we saw another Fed member coming out to actually talk about like, oh, we're approaching the point where we should consider cutting rate and all of that. So currently now you see that the number of doves are actually increasing. So looking at that, CPI will actually determine whether there'll be more added, that is determine whether we're going to see a rate cut by September or not. So this piece of information is very necessary. PPI also might have some weight depending on how CPI is. Like if CPI didn't give some clarity, market might actually down lean on PPI to know okay what is to expect. Now see we have on Friday we have core retail sales preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and then we have bank holidays for France and Italy on Friday. We also have for Thursday we have GBP, GDP month of month, which is actually very important news for GBP, and then for Euro we have the German ZW economic sentiment is a very important piece of data. Clement count change and then average earning index is actually a very good piece of information to actually look out for when it comes to GBP. So these are the things you actually look out for. When you come to also GBP, you'll see that okay, for last week we had six people voting for like six people voting, five people sorry, voting for rate cut, and then 4 members voting for no cut. That's made it more like a hawkish cut, so and they also came with like some hawkish tone, so which also now points like us now looking at it like okay, cutting might actually be coming to an end. It might not really be the way we're anticipating it to be. So we might see like probably maybe another rate cut by November due to negative employment growth and low wage growth. So that might actually give us room to expect maybe one possible last cut for the year by November. But we'll look at and see okay, we'll see what happens. We'll actually have to pay attention to these average earnings because it's actually will indicate whether it's now becoming like more money. If people are earning more money, the more money people earn, the more they spend. So that can actually boost inflation and all of that. So like you really have to pay attention to this piece of information. So to sentiment, we see seasonality bullish August for dollar. I think nothing much here to say. So for COT last week I told you guys COT is actually appearing to be bearish, and you could see what actually happened, and it's even appearing to be more bearish from here. So more bearish dollar according to COT the way I'm looking at it, just based on this, but we'll just can't base everything on this, and yeah, it's actually showing me that okay, we might actually be anticipating more weakness in USD the way the COT. And I told you guys I have my way of reading this without even drawing anything. I just have my way of reading it, and it's actually showing me more room for bearishness. Now let's look at the chart. So this is DXY weekly time frame with just as usual mark out two possible areas we anticipate it to go to if we're going up or going down. This is where you are going to most likely see it going to if we're going down. Remember last week we drew out this weekly other block and say okay, see, and you can see it didn't even go below here much, so you could see like the power of these levels you get. So next week might just this week rather will be anticipating you to like get to somewhere if we're going down. Currently now fundamentals are just pointing towards bearishness, but we don't have we'll have to actually relax and actually see what CPI tells us to actually determine, okay, are we still going to now start going up or going down? But gone on my head, I would actually say we're going to see more bearish dollar because I think USD will have to see like a rate cut anytime soon. So I think we might actually start being like more bearish. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes first of all. So these are the two levels we'll mark out to see, okay, what happens. Now for Euro USD, when it comes to Euro USD, we have actually marked out the two level we're actually looking out for. If we're to go up, might actually be seeing some resistance here. If we're going down, might actually see some resistance here. As usual, for GBP, we actually also marked out the levels we're actually looking out for. These, if we're going down, this level here, this weekly low here, or this weekly high if we're going up. Now let's go to our daily time frame. Our daily time frame, we're going to see how CP has been bullish. On Friday I told you guys CP is still up to the upside, and you could see how market kept on going up and all of that. See how market kept going up. So and then see where we are currently. CP is still to the upside, so I might want to see market go up to around here, and probably depending on what happens after CPI blast off. That being said, we'll also look at Euro USD. Euro USD CP is still to the bullish side, but GBP seems to be more strong. GBP seems to be more strong when it comes to like upside. So GBP might actually start getting stronger than Euro. Maybe not. Let's see what happens. If you look at the fundamentals, okay, because of the hawkish tune from the Bank of England, might actually see GBP getting stronger, but things can change anytime. Just see what happens. So this is Euro is still, it's still showing signs of bullishness. CP is still to the bullish side. So and yeah, so if we look at DXY CP is still down to the bearish side. Now I want you guys to understand something. It was Kashkari that on this day, this was on Wednesday, he came and said that the Fed needs to respond to slowing economy, so probably trying to like point towards a possibility of, oh, we have to be looking at cutting rate and all of that. So this becomes like a protected high for me. This becomes like a protected high because here there's a fundamental driver to this move. So this becomes an important high that I wouldn't like to see the market take. It's just like this NFP high. This is an important level I wouldn't also want to see the market take. If we actually go to, let's say, I think has something like that on GBP. Yes, so here see this Thursday low is a protected level for me because this was when we had this hawkish move up and all of that. So I want to see those levels actually maintained. So yeah, I think that's it for now. This is one of the things you can actually do. Get the important piece of data, timestamp it on your charts, and then monitor those levels. You see how difficult it is for those levels to be taken because they're actually propelled by fundamental drivers. So I think that's it for what I'm anticipating for the week. So see you guys on our next video. And yes, remember to like and subscribe and share. Do well to actually bring others to enjoy this amazing piece that we actually put out here every weekend. And yeah, also remember to follow up on our series, technical analysis for beginners. And yeah, it's actually going to be very, very helpful. And you could also recommend it for someone that is struggling, doesn't understand their way around in this market. So yeah, see you guys. Have a good and amazing trading week.